Hello guys, welcome back. So let's start with a new topic, that is bones of our hand. So the palm part which you see on your hand, that is actually called as hand. Okay, the rest is arm, then you have forearm, then you will have the hand. Okay, so let's know about them. They are carpals, metacarpals and phalanges. Now how many carpals? Let's know. We have 8 carpals. How many metacarpals? We have 5 metacarpals. How many phalanges? We have 14 phalanges. Okay, so now let's look at these in detail. First of all, for the carpal bone, write down a mnemonic. Okay, for the carpals, that she looks too pissed. Try to calm her. So that's the mnemonic, that she looks too pissed. Try to calm her. But will she calm down? You always know that she won't ever. Okay. So here S stands for scaphoid. L stands for lunate. T stands for triquestral. P stands for pisiform. Okay. So till P, you have to remember these are proximal. Okay, till P, P for proximal, P for pisiform. Then this T stands for trapezium. This T stands for trapezoid. C stands for capitate. And H stands for hamate. Okay, understood? So you have to remember this mnemonic. She looks too pissed, try to calm her. Okay, so till P it was proximal. Then these are distal carpals. From trapezium to hamate, these are distal carpals. Now let's look at how they are situated. First I'm drawing this diagram small. So you have this, okay. This is your radius. This is your ulna, right? Let's write like this. Radius. You have ulna. Now ulna is towards your which side? Towards your medial side. So let's write this is medial. What is radius? Where is radius? Which side? Lateral side. Okay. So let's draw the carpals now. So 1 carpal, 2 carpal, 3 carpal, 4 carpal. Then again 1 carpal, 2 carpal, 3 carpal and 4 carpal. So this is scaphoid. This is lunate. This is triquestral. This is pisiform. These are proximal carpals. These are proximal carpals, right? End with P. So starting from the lateral side to the medial side, okay, going from the radius to the ulna, you will have the scaphoid, lunate, trapezium and pisiform. Then you will have this side, trapezium again, trapezoid again, capitate and hamate. Now this you have to remember, for starting with the trapezium, you again have to come to the lateral side. Okay, so these are the distal carpals. Understood? These are what? These are the distal carpals. Then you will have the 5 phalanges which will go into your fingers. 5 fingers. Now, 5 metacarpals. Okay. So let's look at this. So this is the position from this is the lateral side. This is the medial side. Okay. Here your radius will be present and here your ulna. So this is radius. This is ulna. Okay. So let's look. This is your scaphoid bone. Okay. Then what you see? You have this lunate. Then what do you see? You have this triquestrum. Then what do you see? You have this pisiform bone. Okay. So these becomes which bone? This becomes your proximal carpals. Now look at others. Starting with the trapezium. Again coming back to the lateral side. Trapezium. Then you have trapezoid. Then what do you have? We have capitate. Then what do you have? The last one, that is your hamate. Okay, now let's know more about these bones. Okay, starting first with the scaphoid bone. You write it over here only. Okay, continue. I'll erase this part. Okay, I won't erase. I'll write them over here again once again. Okay, scaphoid. First let's know about the scaphoid bone. So scaphoid, it is the most common carpal to fracture. Okay, most common bone to fracture in our body was which? We've already done it. It was clavicle, right? So scaphoid, lunate. So she looks too pissed. Looks. L stands for lunate. From the word lunate, you can understand this L, that is dislocate. It will dislocate. It is most dislocated bone. Means it can get very easily dislocated. Okay. Then you have this triquestral. You don't have to remember anything about it. Just remember its name. Then you have pisiform. Now for pisiform, you have to remember that it is the smallest carpal. So now you have to remember that this pisiform, it is a sesamoid bone. Okay, it is a sesamoid bone. Now what do you mean by sesamoid bone? First let's write down that. So sesamoid bone means bone formed from tendon. Okay, right? So tendon is what? It is bone to muscle attachment, right? So bone formed from tendon. But which tendon? This sesamoid bone. This pisiform specifically is formed by tendon of flexure carpi. Pisiform is towards which side? It is towards the medial side. Towards the medial side, which long bone you have? Ulnar bones. Flexure carpi ulnaris. Okay, it is formed by the flexure carpi ulnaris. You have more bones which are sesamoid. There are 4 bones in total. We will be doing them later on, whenever that topic will be coming. Like they are present in lower limb. So when we will be doing lower limb, I'll explain you there. Okay. So now done with the proximal parts. Now let's look at the distal bones. So for the distal, you have pitch. You have. So now done with the proximal carpals. Now let's look at the distal ones. So this is distal one. So first one was trapezium, given the word because it looks like the same. Okay, trapezoid. Okay, then you have capitate. Now capitate, it's like capital. Okay, so it is largest carpal. So from the capitate word you can understand capital, and capitals are how? Capitals are big, right? So it is largest carpal. Okay, then not her, sorry. Then hamate. Hamate looks like hammer, hence the term hamate. Okay, you have to remember this much about these bones. Now let's look at in the picture. Now let's look at the picture of it. Okay, so we have done with the bones. Now, like, these are the metacarpals. You can see 1 metacarpal, 2 metacarpal, 3 metacarpal, 4 metacarpal, and 5 metacarpals. So you have how many metacarpals? You have 5 metacarpals. You have how many carpal bones? You have 8 carpal bones. Now phalanges. What are phalanges? Basically your fingers, you can see you have divisions in your finger, right? Your finger is divided into 3 parts. So the part which is very much near, we call it as proximal. In the between, we call it as middle or intermediate. The part which is very towards the end, we call it as distal, right? So there is proximal phalange, middle phalange, and distal phalange. So if you count out each finger, 1, 2, 3, same way 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this way, there will be how many phalanges? There will be 14 phalanges. How many phalanges? 14 phalanges. You have to remember, okay? As you can see, your thumb has only 2 phalanges, the proximal one and a distal one. So you have to remember that your thumb doesn't have any middle phalange. It has only proximal and it has only distal phalange. Okay, so for the phalanges, you can write down thumb has only proximal and distal. And write it down like this: proximal, division of the phalanges, proximal, intermediate, or it is also called as middle, and the last is distal. So now let's look at the joints of our hand. When we were doing humerus, I forgot to tell you that the humerus will join with your glenoid cavity, right? Glenoid fossa of the scapula, right? So that joint, this shoulder joint, was ball and socket joint. It is ball and socket joint. Then you have one joint which is carpo-metacarpal joint. From the word itself, break the word and understand which joint we are talking about. So carpo means carpals, metacarpal. So joint between the carpals and the metacarpal. That joint, you only have to remember that the first carpo-metacarpal joint is a saddle joint. First is a saddle, or you can say sellar joint. Okay, you have to remember this. Then you have metacarpophalangeal joint. Again, break the words before I break it. So it's metacarpo means metacarpal, phalangeal means phalanges. So between the metacarpal and the phalanges, what do you have? This joint is the condyloid joint. It is also known as ellipsoid joint. Okay, now these joints come under the category, this ball and socket, all these joints which you are seeing right now, these all comes under a category that is synovial joint. Synovial joint means movable joints. Okay, I'll be writing down at the very end. Then you have to remember the interphalangeal joint. Every phalange is having, right, we have proximal, distal, intermediate. Between that also there are joints present. So interphalangeal joint. So interphalangeal joint you have is a hinge joint. Okay, hinge joint, we did it in the very previous video, right? The elbow joint, joint which moves in one direction, is called as hinge joint. Can you move your finger backwards also? No, you cannot. You move it in only one direction, right? You can only bend your fingers towards your palm side. And we also have intercarpal joint. We have intercarpal joint. Now this intercarpal joint, it is a plain synovial joint. It is a plain synovial joint. You have to remember. Okay. And these all joints are synovial. Write it down. This synovial, and this synovial is also known as movable joint. What it is known as? Movable joints. Okay. So this was all about the joints. Remember proximal carpals, distal carpals, the name of the carpals, the mnemonic for the carpals. That's it. I hope everything is clear now about it. Thank you.